Hello again, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Game Pass Grab Bag, your weekly podcast reviewing games for the Game Pass collection. Bring you three unique perspectives in varying skill range. I am the Snorosaurus of this episode. Andrew, with me are Bordosaurus, Keith.
Hello.
And
you didn't even wait for Keith.
It's taking too long. And with us, our Complainosaurus, Liz.
You were going to say Impatientosaurus, but then you were impatient with Keith, so you couldn't say it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of sauruses I could do for you.
I was trying to act my Saurus.
And this week, we played a listener request. We played Jurassic Park Evolution 2. So thank you so much to Caden and our New Zealand listener, who is username is a bunch of different letters. So I can't really say it. But thank you guys so much for requesting that we play Jurassic Park Evolutions 2 by Frontier Developments. Jurassic Park Evolutions 2 is a dinosaur park management game. You are taking control of, as you guessed it, Jurassic Park. You are building cages and trying to breed dinosaurs to attract guests and try your best not to get them eaten. But going around, Liz, was this a game or pass for you?
This was definitely a game for me. Any property management games that we play, I always hesitate to boot it up. I find it stressful at the beginning, and then the second I know what I'm doing, I'm just like, give me more. I want to play all of it. And that's exactly what happened. So I did enjoy it. Story-wise, there's definitely some issues, but overall, I had a lot of fun.
Mostly, really, honestly, on genre alone, this is going to be just a pass for me. New year, new me. I'm just going to straight up call it a pass. None of this game, but not for me, whatever. No, it is a pass. I don't like city sim management style type of games. I kind of find them a little bit boring. I did think that this had some redeeming elements with some of the first person interactivity, and we can talk about that and everything, but just as a whole, I don't care for these games, and I got through the campaign really, and that was about as far as I played.
Honestly, that campaign's a tutorial. So you kind of really got through the tutorial.
Well, okay. I didn't realize that if they called it a tutorial, I would have played more, but they called it a campaign, so I played the campaign.
I know.
That's pretty fair.
We'll get into that. But for me, this is a game. I absolutely love this game. I actually played the first one. I think the first one was Games for Gold, and so I snagged that and I played a bunch of it. I beat a bunch of it. I didn't 1,000 it, but I got pretty dang close. And so then when I saw the second one was coming out, I was like, yes. So I have like a soft spot in my heart for these Jurassic Park base building games, because this obviously isn't the first one. I remember back in the 360, I think it was called Jurassic Park Genesis. I think it was. I remember I skipped school to play it because back in the day I had GameFly. Remember GameFly before Game Pass?
Yeah, how many times?
Yeah, and it came in the mail today.
That, and then I just kept the same game for like 3 months straight, and I should have just bought it instead. GameFly was the best.
I know. You tried as quick as I could to beat the game.
Oh, you used the heck out of it. No, you used it for what it was supposed to be used for.
Yeah, so I got that game in the mail like the night before, and I was like, I'll skip it, school. And I just played Jurassic Park Genesis. But yeah, I find this game, it definitely has some of its flaws, but as far as like a management game goes, I don't know what it is, but it does a fantastic job of not having you just sit around. And I always feel like that's the biggest pitfall with a lot of management games, is a lot of times you're sitting and waiting. But I felt like while playing this, I'm always doing something. So no, this is a game for me. But yeah, getting into it, as I said, the story is, as you can kind of guess, you are building a Jurassic Park. And right off the bat, I'm just going to say the interface looks awful. What's with the games doing these big old boxes instead of a nice clean main menu? They do like these weird big old boxes. Like, I feel like we get so many games that kind of do this, and I find the like main menu kind of confusing. But yeah, Keith, you were talking that there is a bottom left where it's like the bottom left box. It says story campaign. I don't know why they call it a campaign. Honestly, it's a tutorial. It's very much like, this is how you build a fence.
But there were multiple of these campaigns, tutorials.
Yeah.
And they all gave the same information. And then you go to like the bigger areas and half the stuff wasn't covered. So for me, it's just like, if you're going to have a bunch of tutorials, like put more information in them. You only really need one.
Yeah, because technically there is no tutorial now that I think about it, right?
Yeah, but
No,
all the
not an
campaigns
official
at
one.
the beginning are the same, or they're samey. And so for me, that's why I just thought it was silly, where it's just like, if you're not going to give me all the information, just have one and have more story.
Yeah, it's odd because then right next to obviously the story campaign, the next big old weird box says campaign story. I think it was, which that's when you're actually playing through episodes of each of the Jurassic Park movies, which actually that was kind of cool. But yeah, the overall story is, if you're playing the actual one with the Jurassic Park, obviously it's kind of what each one is. So the very first one, you're playing Jurassic Park, and you're trying to build Dr. Hammond's Jurassic Park to get it open. And then Jurassic Park 2 Lost World, if I'm remembering the name, is, you're trying to get the dinosaurs to San Diego. But also, too, I wanted to ask you guys, what's your knowledge of Jurassic Park? Is this another one of those movies, Keith, that you just have never watched?
It really is. Now, I will
Really?
say,
You've never seen Jurassic Park?
You at least saw the original, right?
the original, I've again probably never seen start to finish, but I have
gosh.
seen in total in my many years on this planet. I definitely know enough of it contextually, culturally, all of that. Beyond the first one, it really gets hazy because I definitely didn't watch any of the new ones. Some of the newest ones looked very cool visually, but I'm so far removed from the stories that I couldn't really get myself to get into those. And I heard they also weren't all that good too. So,
Yeah. See, the original movie, I mean, this is just my opinion, but I feel like it's the best.
Yeah.
And then after that,
I feel like most people agree with that.
It goes downhill. Like the newest ones, I feel like aren't great compared to the first one. Like, what is it? Dallas, Bryce, what's that woman's name?
It's
I've seen
Jurassic
one of
World
those.
is the first one.
Oh yeah, I saw one of those.
Or the first new one. Sorry.
Yeah, I think I saw the second and third one, but the one that always stands out is the first one. And I think, Andrew, not to skip you, but you obviously saw a bunch of them.
I've seen all of them, which I love and also am also sad because the latest one, Jurassic Dominion, I think it was called. It was awful. Hated that one so much.
You can't recreate the magic of the first one. And they keep trying, and it just it just keeps getting worse because I feel like, especially watching the original Jurassic Park as a kid, I mean, there were a lot of really tense moments where you're scared for people, and people get eaten, and you're just like, holy crap, someone just got eaten by a dinosaur.
Yeah, and some of them are pretty gory, and I think they're all rated PG-13. I think there's only one that's rated PG-13.
well,
I think
they're kind of gory.
so there's how many of these movies by now?
6.
Six Jurassic Park movies. This is like if they made Rocky movies, but Rocky just got knocked out in one punch every single movie, and then he just kept going back and fighting again. He's not a
going
good
to
fighter.
these places? Who how many people have to be eaten before you're like, do you know what? I don't want to bring my children there.
Yeah, or just
Well,
hey, maybe
technically-
let's just stop doing this thing with dinosaurs. Maybe it's not working out so well. We're not really all that equipped to handle that the way we thought we were.
Technically, only 2 of the 6 people are actually building parks.
I'm
The
just
first and the second one, because the third one is just them going to the island because they're trying to find a lost boy, and then the fourth one, the fourth one is a park one. So Jurassic World is a park one.
Well,
So I guess 3 movies.
I mean, they
I
should have
think-
sent Liam Neeson in the second one then, and that would have been fine. They would have found him in a heartbeat, and nobody would have gotten into dinosaur trouble.
Hey, dinosaur, got a special set of skills.
I think what the game does bad is that they took an already bad story from the other Jurassic Parks. The first one isn't a bad story, but then they made it worse. So for me, it's if you're gonna rebuild the Jurassic Park, in the game, the first movie had already happened, and they're like, let's start and make a park, but we're gonna give you the worst fences, and we're gonna open up the park with a T-Rex there. Or, in other games that you can play, I don't know what they're called because obviously, it was not the campaign ones, but it's I would not build a park in Tornado Valley with dinosaurs. And for me, like, as a scientist, how could you work at a place that's just like, fences aren't the most important thing to research before we open this. And the same with like the first movie, there's the sabotage. If you are brilliant enough that you can create dinosaurs and do all this crap, you can figure out who is trying to kill all the people that are visiting and the people that are working there. So there's just so many plot holes.
I love how much you overthink a movie about a movie where people are cloning dinosaurs.
There's
You're
so
like,
many
unrealistic.
movies
People are sabotaging gates.
But there are so many movies that you can get the information from to set up a good story. Like even just pick a movie and then just make it better. But they're just like, no, we're gonna get like all the worst like plot holes.
See, I don't care. Like for me, this is like, all right.
Well, why have the sabotage and then just be like, oh, well, we need to investigate that. Keep putting like carnivorous dinosaurs in there, and we won't address it again.
Why do you watch Jurassic Park? Why do you like the movies?
I like the first one.
Okay, why'd you like it?
As a kid, I just watched it and I liked it. I don't know. They had dinosaurs.
Because you like to see dinosaurs and you like to see people get eaten by dinosaurs.
No, I didn't like seeing people getting eaten. And it was a good story. Like they're trying
you didn't like the guy
to save
getting eaten
the
on the
kids,
toilet?
and wasn't he a jerk though?
Oh yeah,
I haven't
usually the
seen
people who
it,
die
that
are
one.
jerks.
Yeah, but for me, it just like it was all like the tension and suspense and stuff. So
exactly, and that's why I love it, and that's why I hated the sixth movie. The sixth movie, the bar never felt so low because literally the entire movie is following the entire all-star cast, and so it's like, well, all these people are safe. So like, there's times they're running from dinosaurs. It's like, well, you're all safe. Like you're all like stars. No one's dying, and sure enough, they didn't.
I want to know in real life would you go to a dinosaur theme park, and then you can think about this like.
Yeah,
it's like people have already been eaten at one and versus not.
Yeah. Okay. If you're talking context of the Jurassic Parks in these movies, no, I would not go to that.
You don't know if they're good or not.
But if it was like real life, yeah, how's it any different from a zoo?
Because have you seen the enclosures for lions? Like they're not going to get you.
Exactly. So if it was real life, people would actually build real enclosures that would be safe. And you also, too, like...
A T-Rex can get through pretty much anything.
I have questions.
I would think.
It causes a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
God.
You're welcome to that, Keith.
I wish we had video of Keith's, like, expressions when you say jokes.
Don't worry, Keith. I'm going to have more dinosaur jokes.
I just have nothing more to say to that. I was just going to leave that at that.
What do you call someone who sticks their right hand in a T-Rex's mouth? A lefty. But like, yeah, I would go. Like, would you not want to see real dinosaurs?
Well, for me, like the new movies, the first thing had already happened where the dinosaurs got loose. Yeah. So I'm just saying I would not bring my children. If I'm not adventurous. I wish that I was. I feels like it would be like a fun time to be an adventurous person. I'm not. And so like I wouldn't feel the need to, but I most certainly would not bring my children. And in the movies, they're bringing their kids.
Yeah.
I mean, no judgment if you would bring your kids to a dinosaur park. I'm just saying, like, I'm a worrywart, and no, I would not.
See, that's the other thing too. A lot of these parks are like on a closed island in the middle of the ocean. No, I would not spend that much money to go to a park like that.
You're
I don't even go to Disney.
That's even worse. You are trapped on that island with the dinosaurs if they get loose.
Yeah.
Heck no. I feel like we put so much into the story that wasn't. The story isn't really there.
Well, the story's Jurassic Park. You're building a Jurassic Park.
Do you know what it is? Whenever they were talking, which. The guy from the first movie, what's his name? He's like a quirky guy. What's his name from the first movie? He is a voice actor.
Well, Jeff Goldblum?
Yes. I like him. But whenever they were talking about the movie and Jurassic Park stuff, I really tried hard to pay attention, but it was really difficult. I kept zoning it out after a while. I kind of wanted to skip things, but you couldn't. The
more I hear Jeff Goldblum talk, the more I kind of get annoyed with him. I feel like he constantly keeps saying things that are trying to sound so philosophical. Of just like, and then there's chaos. I'm just like, okay, this guy's kind of getting annoying.
There's one of the guys who, tried to sound like Jeff Goldblum, and then there's the guy who tried to.
No, it is Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, it really was.
Jeff Goldblum's actually.
I think Chris Pratt was the only one that wasn't the real actor, right?
Yeah.
Did you
Okay,
tell
because
me
I was going
that?
to say
Yeah.
there was the wannabe Chris Pratt as well. And that was...
I actually thought it was Chris Pratt. I thought he was actually pretty decent.
I don't know.
I thought one of
didn't
the
think so.
worst voice actress was the female in the new one.
The Bryce Dallas Howard? Is
Yeah,
that her
that's
name?
it.
Something like that.
Yeah, Bryce Dallas, I think her name is. Yeah, I thought that was a voice. Like, I thought that was another mimic, but apparently, according to IMDb, it's actually her. It's like, oh, thanks.
I mean, Chris Pratt must have been asking too much, I guess. I don't know. I wonder why he wasn't in it. The other two are pretty, like, A-list.
The absolute worst one, I think, is John Hammond. But I think that actor is actually, I think the actor who played John Hammond in the first one, I think he died.
Nuh-uh. Look that up. He did not. He was in something recently, I thought. Oh, you're talking about, like, the actual scientist.
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking the main guy. I feel so bad. I'm not even saying the names from the movie.
Yep, Richard Attenborough. Yeah, he died in 2014. He was 90 years old.
Thanks.
But yeah, the voice actor they got to kind of mimic him it's not good. But yeah, I did not care for any of the dialogue that was kind of going on. Because like I said, a lot of it's so like trying to be philosophical and stuff like that. And then my other question with the story, it's kind of been the trend with the last three ones of like what's going on. You know, so the fourth one, Jurassic Kingdom, they built a park. Once again, the park falls apart. And then they're like, oh, we're going to let the dinosaurs be free. But then the island's blown up, so they take the dinosaurs off the island. And now the dinosaurs just roam the world. And I like the whole concept is just like, we're going to let the dinosaurs roam free. I don't get that. Like, because like there's literally footage of like dinosaurs killing people out in the woods. And it's just like, I feel like if that was real life, we would just once again make the dinosaurs extinct.
Yeah, everyone would go hunting
Yeah.
because they would kill somebody that somebody loved, and they'd just be like, I'm done with these stupid dinosaurs. I shouldn't be here
Now, that's a
anyway.
plot hole that I can agree with you with.
And then just...
I mean,
Yep, you're going extinct again, baby.
well, for me, it's like you could keep the plant eaters.
Oh yeah, the
But-
herbivores would be fine.
But I mean, the carnivorous ones, it's like, no, they should not be released in the wild. I personally, if there was one near me, I wouldn't want to live there.
I know. I mean, because you can.
Property values would go down so much.
Well, you can think about it, like actual, like a realistic thing. Whenever there's a shark attack, like ends up being like a huge shark hunt that goes on, and they end up like a lot of sharks end up dying whenever someone gets bitten by a shark. So yeah, if there was dinosaurs that were biting people,
Well, I think the big issue is that they're still like making these dinosaurs. Because some of like the small ones, I feel like the lifespans aren't that long, right? So you're talking like 30 years later, and they're still making them.
it is kind of weird.
So it is.
No, they reproduce now. That's why they're still around.
They should be stopping that if they, you know what I mean? If they can't figure out what to do with them.
Well, you clearly don't know the movies. They
I don't. I've only seen some of them.
They clone the dinosaurs with frog DNA, and frogs can change their gender.
Oh, I do remember that in the movie.
So they try to make them sterile, but they were able to
Get
just
smarter
change their
scientists.
I know. How'd you not think about that? That frogs could do that, scientist.
I'm not anti-dinosaur. I'm just anti-not planning for dinosaurs. If you're going to
You're
create
a
them.
dino racist.
Oh,
I knew
jeez.
it.
But for the part that Keith probably hated the most, the gameplay. Keith, what was your favorite and least favorite part of the gameplay? I'm really curious.
So I think the best thing that the gameplay offered for me was the interactivity and the aspect that you could like take over control of your ranger teams and your capture teams and drive around your park.
God, I hated that.
That was my least favorite. I was like, heck no.
I'm not
They
saying
drove like
terrible. But
like lead.
but what I liked about it is it was something that shook up the genre for me and took me out of the needing to just constantly be task managing every single aspect of my park. Was it good? No, but I thought that was the most interesting part of it for me. And then what I liked the least was really just, I mean, not anything specific about Jurassic World in particular, but the genre of like this park management. I just don't care for it. I don't get excited about it, and it just feels like a lot of work at the end of the day. And so I have a hard time getting excited about it.
See, I played it wrong. And what I mean is, for me, I thought like the park rating, and maybe I should have looked more into it. I mean, I definitely should have. But I thought it was more about like getting more dinosaurs and that would bring people in and get more money. But really, like to get to the 5-star rating, the quickest way is to be making sure that the food is selling. You might have to switch it to like a drink service, other amenities for the guests and stuff like that. And so for me, it just like I was playing wrong at the beginning, but I did like all of that. I liked training the scientists, and like I like that when they were overworked they'd get tired and have to rest and be like, crap, that's my best person for this. And so for me, but another thing I didn't like is you can't research what you want early on. You have to have like a certain park rating, because I'm the type of person that like I want the best fence at the beginning, because I didn't realize that you could like upgrade them later. Same with the roads and paths and stuff. Andrew warned me with the fences though that if you do it all at once, like the dinosaurs can get out, which was great because
Yep, I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, and I want to point something out.
Oh boy, here we go.
So, and yeah, Andrew was making fun of me because I pause a lot. Whenever
pause all the time.
Whenever I play these, I liked. So, for instance, if there's a storm, that is when stuff goes down. You will be playing smooth sailing, and all of a sudden you have like 10, 15 dinosaurs in different cages that are all mad at the world, and then fences break, and all this other crap is happening, and I pause it, and I make sure everything's good. Andrew's making fun of me. Not a single person died when I was playing. No guests were eaten. If a dinosaur got out, I was on that. The emergency bunkers were open. Andrew was letting everybody get eaten. He's like bragging about, oh, no, I don't really pause, but he's getting all these lawsuits from people being eaten. So no, I'm just saying there are two ways to play.
You're gonna call me out? All right, this is Liz playing. I'm gonna build a restaurant. Pause game. Place down the restaurant. Okay, build a road. Okay, unpause game. Oh wait, no, I need to build another road. Pause game. Up here's a 1-foot road. Unpause
I got
game.
Better.
No, you were still very
but
rough.
At the same time,
and then you're like, why do I have no money? Because the game's constantly paused. You gotta let the game
another
run.
thing, you actually lost multiple missions because you ran out of money.
Because I'm playing on the hardest level.
Never ran out of money.
I never did too. It's just because I'm playing on the hardest level.
No, you were saying that earlier when you were playing other. Don't even. You were saying that like a week ago.
You calling me out? No.
I didn't fail any missions because of money. I got low sometimes and then borrowed some, but I never ran out, and I never got anybody killed in my park. How many dozens of people did you get eaten in your park? Hundreds, thousands?
Oh, probably billions.
Okay,
so many. I got everyone in the whole entire world eaten by dinosaurs.
I got rid of goat feeders. I did guest feeders. I just literally fed them guests.
An entire week of you making fun of me, and then you told me about like how like everyone keeps getting eaten at your park, and it's like, yeah, because I'm ensuring safety.
I love to run my park with no fences. I just let things go.
It was also an extra charge to get eaten by the dinosaurs. There was a $1,000 fee to get eaten by a T-Rex.
It was. I called it a special ride.
Yeah, that was one thing that, and I guess it's actually pretty realistic when it comes to, running a dinosaur park versus running a theme park in these park sim type of games. Is, Liz, you mentioned it. It was like one small bad thing would happen and it would just spiral real quick. And it wasn't always just a storm. It would just be like one dinosaur gets out, and then that's enough to like somehow rile up the other dinosaurs, and then it breaks into a cage where there's dinosaurs that they don't get along with, and then they're all angry, and you're just like, well, all I did was I forgot I didn't refill the goat feeder quick enough, and and now this is happening.
All I did was torture the dinosaur. Why is he mad?
No, I
kept tranquilizing him.
One of the things that really drove me the most nuts was the like satisfaction level of the dinosaurs, because I found I just spent a ton of time being like, oh nope, just needs to be bigger. Oh, now they need more of the ground fiber. So then I do ground fiber, but then it's like, oh, but now there's not enough free space in here because you put too much ground fiber. So then you'd have to build more. And then it just didn't like that there wasn't enough, I don't know, land to ground fiber again. And you just, I just was constantly just tweaking the fence lines of my enclosures. And I was just like, this is so annoying. And
until it's just one giant thing.
Yeah, essentially. I was like, I don't know. I have just Jurassic World now, as I guess what it is. And just,
you have Jurassic fence.
Yeah, just like get along everybody and all that. Because I tried to get like one. I don't know. They kill my big long neck. Because that's another thing.
Well,
like, I don't know dinosaurs as much as I thought I knew dinosaurs. I know like 10 dinosaurs, and there's like hundreds. I know the
You know the lizard-looking one. That one.
See, I know them from like Land Before Time. You have like Long Neck and Bigfoot and, Sharp Tooth. That's what the dinosaurs that I know.
I thought those were their actual dinosaur names.
It's the scientific
I feel
name,
like
yes.
with what you're saying, Keith, my biggest annoyance was the Apatosaurus. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that dinosaur was the most finicky and annoying. And I had one that I got it at the beginning of the game, and he would like starve even though he was surrounded by like acres of what he was eating. And that's when I really went into like the gene modification. I was like, this is annoying. And so after that, it was smooth sailing. But I think that it's really annoying online when you look up cohabitation, because when you go to the dinosaurs, it says who they can like share space with, who they dislike, but it's never the dinosaurs that you're finding in that like campaign, which is really frustrating. And so I would Google it, but the game changed stuff. So now when you like look up like, oh, who can go with this dinosaur, it's old information and it doesn't work anymore and they kill each other. And so for me, it's like, I think the game needs to do a better job of letting you know what animals get along with each other, like which ones can tolerate, because the information online is wrong.
I just shoved. I didn't care if they said they liked who they liked or didn't. This is like, if you're an herbivore, I shoved them all in a pen, and I didn't care because, like as Keith said, they want ground fiber, they want trees.
Maybe
so I'm just
that's
like,
why your fences were always broken.
You're an herbivore, you're going in a pen. There you guys go. And I just kept them all together.
Eat each other? No.
Exactly. It's like they're just maybe gonna get a little upset. I know there was some dinosaurs like the Triceratops and the Sinotops, which is kind of like a one-horned Triceratops. They didn't like each other. Yeah, the Apatosaurus and the Bronchiosaurus, which are both long necks ones, they don't like each other.
Yeah, but
I just figured dinosaurs were racist to like their same kind of like,
well, sometimes because
genome.
the Brachiosaurus likes the one that begins with a C that's also a long neck. And I think they also get along with the Apatosaurus, but I'm not sure. But the other two, I'm definitely sure.
Oh, I just shoved all the herbivores. And then, but you can mix a carnivore with an herbivore, the scavengers. Because I do agree, Liz. Like, it specifically says, oh, everyone loves scavengers. So I'm like, cool, scavengers go with the velociraptors. Because it said velociraptors likes the scavengers. Well, apparently they like to hunt the scavengers because they ate them all right away. And I was like, well, that was a waste of money. I was like, thanks for lying to me, game.
Well, and no, it didn't. It liked them. It liked to eat them.
Exactly. So I usually like to put the scavengers with the Apatosaurus because obviously the scavengers can't kill a massive dinosaur. So yeah, they chilled together and it was perfectly fine.
Well, that's why I also made my fences, like the enclosures, really big, because I figured that a lot of the times the dinosaurs don't like the same stuff to eat. So it'd have enough space. The Apatosaurus had so much flippin' space and they still were miserable forever. Like that. Oh,
I found out my dinosaurs love to eat guests, so I never had issues figuring out what they wanted to eat. Isn't that right, Liz?
Listen, I heard for a week about how slow I was playing and how I kept pausing. That's all I was saying.
You are so slow. Oh, but Keith, I want to go back to one of your points about you're trying to make the dinosaurs happy, because I want to call out Liz for another thing that she does in this game. Yeah, you started this fight, Liz. I'm going to keep calling you out. Did you always make sure your dinosaurs were like 100% comfortable?
Me?
Yeah.
Not 100%. No, I mean, I wanted them to at least not like be yelling at me about something. So like if it was like, oh, needs more ground fiber, I'd just start laying down ground fiber and then I would like adjust to whatever it said. But that was about it.
Can I explain my thought process?
After I call you out. So I always make sure.
You just did.
Well, I'm not done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same way, Keith. I make sure they're 80%, and I'm like, cool, you guys can whine and complain. Liz, on the other hand, is like, these guys are captured. I need to make them 100%.
No, I wouldn't. I wanted them to be like 90 and above, but every once in a while, like the Apatosaurus would be a little bit less. But for me, if like one of the dinosaurs dies, because they can die of old age, their comfort goes way down. So no matter what, I wanted to have more space, but also what you just said, I felt bad because these dinosaurs, all of a sudden these humans are remaking them and putting them in these confined spaces, and they deserved their happiest life because these stupid humans did them dirty. You didn't feel bad for them?
I mean,
Liz,
honestly,
I'm really sorry right now
for new people. new people aren't asking to be brought into this world, but we're just doing it, and then they're just stuck with
No,
this.
but they're supposed to be roaming, though. They're not meant to be in enclosures. Because if you look at the size of a T-Rex or an Apatosaurus, which, by the way, what you said was funny. I get it's a joke. But what
Yes, that was funny. Very nice, very nice.
In my mind...
Solid joke, Keith. Anyway.
In my mind, I just they're such big dinosaurs in such a tiny space, and I just want them to be happy. And same with I want the guests to be happy and not be eaten. I was thinking about them with the way that I was playing the game, unlike some people. So
I think
Listen, I'm sorry to spoil it for you, but it's a video game. They're not real. They don't care.
I can't change my feelings.
the only time I felt kind
I
of
don't
bad
care.
was I got two bronchiosaurus, the big old long neck
The
one.
long neck.
Yeah, one of
there
the
you
big
go.
old long necks. Well, I got two of them, and then I accidentally, I don't know, let somebody loose, and it killed only one of them. And then it was fine on everything, but it was just lonely, and I couldn't find another one, and so it was just lonely. So I just set it free because I had a mission to get all of my dinosaurs to 80 or above, and he was not getting 80. So I said, "Bye, bud," and I dropped him in the
Why
middle
didn't you
of the
make
woods.
another one?
You know, you can sell them.
I just dropped him in the middle of the woods.
He went the way of old Lassie.
Yep.
That was always hard when they would start dying of old age. That's why, the first time it happened, I made one, and then because I always had multiples at the beginning, they all started dying. So whenever somebody died, I'd make multiple just in case.
Yeah, that's another one of my little complaint I have. Dinosaurs, yes, they quote unquote die of old age, but there's no age for the dinosaurs. And like we were saying in the movies, they are able to breed, but they don't breed in the game. All you could do is just hatch them in the incubator, and then you get them. So it's not like, hey, I could have two T-Rexes and they could have a baby T-Rex or a wee Rex, if you will. But yeah, there's no baby T-Rexes. There's no old age T-Rexes. They all look the same. So it's all kind of which is kind of lame. Because yeah, all my dinosaurs decide to get together and let's all start dying of old age at the same time. They start having a meeting about it, and they just all one after another just keep dying. And it's
You
can you
just want
stop
a
it?
T-Rex with a little special T-Rex walker.
Yep, he has a little cane and a big old gray beard. That's what I want.
Yelling at the little dinosaurs to get off his lawn.
He has to put in his denture teeth.
I also thought it was annoying when some of the dinosaurs, they would always fight with each other. I forget which one it was. There was one dinosaur that they always fought with each other. It's the same species. And then they would kill one of them, and then they'd feel lonely. And it's well, stop fighting all the time. But comfort-wise, it said that they wanted multiple in the enclosure. And
Because they want to kill each other.
Yeah.
They're like fight clubs.
Something I brought up to Andrew before when I was playing it, I want more info when I'm playing on guest needs. Every once in a while, it would say oh, they're a little nervous because there's not enough emergency bunkers, or, the guests are thirsty. But that only happened a couple times that I can remember, 2 or 3. But for me, it just I wasn't sure exactly what the guests wanted stuff. I would know when I looked and see okay, well, I'm negative in the burgers or whatever, and then so I switch it to a different restaurant.
I'm negative in the burgers.
I was always high in the burgers. Everyone loves a cheap burger. That wasn't the one. That was just an example.
Yep.
But I wish that there was a tab for guest information.
There is.
Well, I get it with the adventure and stuff. I'm talking about specifically guest needs. So I know there's a percentage of guests that nature and adventure and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's one of my complaints. Another complaint about this game. The guests are weird. The guests aren't actual people. When you play something like Planet Coaster, Roller Coaster Tycoon, a lot of these park management games, you can usually click on a guest and they'll say their thoughts and things like that. The guests don't really exist. You see people walking around, but they're not real people. It's kind of hard to explain because you can drive your car in through them and they just jump out of the way. There's literally 3 character models. But yeah, the guests because even when you close the shelters and open it, it's just weird how the guests work. It's kind of I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's more of a flow than it is actual people. It doesn't matter if you're seeing people walking on a road. That road still may be considered busy, and you still have to cater to needs on it. It's weird. I don't like how the guests are designed in this game.
I feel like we're saying a lot of negatives, but I actually really did like the game. So
No, I don't think we're saying a lot of
These are
negatives.
just like nitpicky stuff. And then something else that I want to talk about. Did you guys ever like your game get kind of stuck?
No.
Like you were like click on a building and it wouldn't let you get out of it?
No.
It happened a couple times. I had to like exit out of the game and go back in, but I was looking online.
How do you break every game?
It wasn't like a game breaking bug. It was just very.
You gotta quit the game.
inconvenient.
That's kind of pretty bad.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah, I guess that's
Twice, I
that's pretty
Well,
breaking.
the thing is, it got stuck a lot for me, but eventually it would get out. Which again, it would let me pause though, which is nice, but it wouldn't let me get out of the building. But I only had to like actually exit out once or twice. But I saw online that people were like, my dinosaurs are starving and they're surrounded by food, and it's a bug and stuff. I didn't have any bugs like that. I just had like it kept getting stuck, and I was just curious if you guys had any bugs.
There was one on the Jurassic Park campaign on the second one. So when you're playing Lost World, you're trying to build a park in Jurassic Park San Diego, and there's an amphitheater. I had dinosaurs get stuck in there. Like they would go in there because I put food, but then they wouldn't know how to get out, even though it was perfectly open. So it was like a weird glitchy thing with that, where they would literally circle around and then eventually die from starvation.
That's what that enclosure's for.
Yeah, it's meant for viewing. So,
I just started that one.
Yeah. So that was the only thing. I had like some dinosaurs, it was like 2 or 3 dinosaurs that just starved. And I'm like, if you're dumb enough, you don't know how to exit this building, you could just go. So,
did you do the sandbox?
Yeah, I've done, the challenges, which are kind of sandboxy, but they just give you more goals.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I've done a couple of those. So this is one thing I love about Jurassic Park. Like it is, to me, this game was a lot of fun. So one of my biggest complaints, like I love obviously management games, real-time strategy games, things I'm really kind of coordinating and organizing. And the thing that's kind of frustrating with some of them, like a bad RTS, you're literally building a base, kill the enemy, next level. We're just deleting your base, do it all over again, but it's a different looking map, and you're kind of doing the same thing over again. This game kind of does that as well a little bit, but I didn't care. Like there's not a lot of structures you're building. There's not a lot of things you're doing. You're breeding dinosaurs, making a park. But it was so fun to me. Like this game is a crazy time killer. Like this was a game where it's like, just let me do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. Because like I said, there was very few moments I felt like I was just sitting there and waiting. Like I was always doing something, building a new enclosure, going and scavenging more dinosaur bones so I can make new dinosaurs, breeding new dinosaurs, trying to build new attractions. I always felt like I was doing something. So this game, like I would look at the clock and it's like, geez, I just wasted like 2 hours are already over.
I agree. I also like, because you're bringing up like the expeditions and stuff. I love the fossils. Like I love like when you get them, it's always exciting because you're like, oh, am I getting money? Am I getting fossils?
It's like opening a loot box.
Yeah, and it really was. Now that you mention it, it really was like the same buildings, the same way that like everything worked. And you're just doing it over and over again with different games and
yeah.
I mean campaigns and stuff. And yeah, I didn't even really notice it. I found it very addicting. And yeah, you're right. I was like, I'm going to do like an hour of this, and then I'm going to do these chores, and then all of a sudden, all my time was up.
Yep.
So,
yeah, this game constantly is just like, the next thing. I got to do the next thing. And it was cool playing through the like movie campaign because the technology actually did kind of advance that way. So obviously when you're playing the first Jurassic Park, the only tour bus you can get are their like little crappy Jeeps. So of course you don't want to bring them through like a carnivore's pen because they'll get attacked. But as you progress to, like the fourth movie, then you get the gyrospheres and a monorail. Like the technology actually does kind of change as you're playing through the campaign, which I thought was kind of a fun touch. So I liked actually like playing through the movies.
I didn't get that far. I put like a ridiculous amount of time. I looked up because they do have some stats for like time played, number of dinosaurs that you released, money earned, and stuff like that. I put way more time into this game than I thought I did. And I didn't get that far.
Yeah. For Time to Beat, if you're looking to complete the game, Time to Beat has it listed for 172 hours if you're looking to be a completionist. But for main and side quests, you're looking at 35 and a half hours.
Yeesh. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was not going to put 35 hours into this game. That was going to happen.
Keith, what did you think of the graphics?
I thought they were pretty good. I mean, like, as far as the motion goes, yes, when you go into that first person mode of the vehicles, it's janky. It's not great.
Oh yeah, there's a little jank to this game.
But at the same time, I thought overall visually it was really cool, and I liked getting up close and personal with the dinosaurs, and it like because you play like a lot of these these park sim games, roller coasters, and I don't know, you don't really think about how big the roller coaster is that you're looking at, and I think a lot of them do first person stuff too, but something about going and like getting on ground level with the dinosaur, and you're like, oh crap, that thing is ginormous or would be ginormous or whatever. Like, I thought that was kind of cool visually.
Yeah, I thought the dinosaur designs were awesome. I loved looking at the dinosaurs. Our daughter loved looking at the dinosaurs.
I was gonna say, yeah, because I don't usually play games in front of her, and she woke up from a nap early, and I was finishing up what I was doing, and now she was like, I want to see the dinosaurs. Like every day she wants to see the dinosaurs. So she really liked the visuals. I didn't like the grass. Like when the up close of the grass and stuff, there's something about it.
Oh, they definitely put all their effort in designing the dinosaurs. Because like I said, the guests look awful. The vehicles look pretty good. Like I kind of like the paint jobs, like when they do the classic Jurassic Park colors. But I mean, that's just a color scheme. But yeah, like the buildings are kind of okay looking. But yeah, terrain's not great looking. It's super geometric. Like you get these weird bumpy hills that just are squared. It's weird looking. They definitely put all their effort in the dinosaurs, which is great because I loved looking at these dinosaurs. They're super cool looking.
I also wanted to know if the scientists were real people, like people that worked on the game, because they looked like real people.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I just love the way, like, I think they did a great job with that then, if they're not real people.
I love your praise it. The scientists had great portraits.
I can see what you're saying. They were absolutely CGI in terms of their images. They looked like they were designed off of like real people. I know what you're saying at least.
Yeah. Keith gets it.
I like you write that like in your final review. Great portraits for the scientists.
Yeah, they look really good.
5 stars.
They looked jolly.
That gave me at least one more bonus.
They look jolly.
They looked happy to be there.
They didn't necessarily look jolly. They looked like employee photos. Like they were just
I know.
practically mug shots, but I did think they looked like oh, those are probably like, I don't know, like almost like they took images of people who helped design the game and then they just put them in that way.
I like 98% of people probably do not even recognize the portraits. I didn't even know it really looked. I never looked at the portraits. I never looked at their names or their portraits.
Because
I looked at the
they
stats.
actually looked like real people. Like they did such a good job.
I didn't study them, but yeah, I absolutely
I did.
I absolutely noticed it. Like, so I'm agreeing with Liz on this one. But yeah, I don't know.
Did you fall in love with one, Liz?
I had a favorite scientist, if that's what you mean.
He had dreamy eyes.
I think she was smiling in the picture. She looked like she liked her job.
So happy.
So we already talked about the voice actors. And obviously they're going to have some of the original Jurassic Park music, right? They did?
They did.
I like that you could hear the dinosaurs, especially when you release them and stuff. You could definitely hear them making the sounds and stuff, which I wonder how accurate can scientists make, obviously, I mean, they can't recreate what dinosaurs exactly sound like, but I wonder how close it is.
I bet probably like 0%.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
I think the original T-Rex roar, I think, was based off a turtle, like a sound a turtle makes.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things.
From what I remember reading.
I think they just, they like try to like reverse engineer based on how they think it is from the fossil, and then based on that, how their body would be designed and like vocal cords and all of that. It's like, I mean, I don't know, maybe I guess some of them they get kind of close by accident, but I think it's 100% speculation and made up basically.
Yeah.
That's a bummer. I mean, I assume that, but I was just curious if you guys knew.
But yeah, I think the voice acting is all over the place in this game. That's my biggest complaint. But overall, yeah, there isn't a crazy ton of music. Like, you're not hearing a lot when you're playing the game. Yeah, every once in a while, like, obviously, the classic Jurassic Park music will kick in. Yeah, the dinosaur sound effects are really good. But besides that, it's overall a pretty quiet game.
Wind when there's a storm.
Yeah, wind. So this is 100% a game you could not listen to.
I mean, I effectively did that. I didn't really listen to much of the dialogue. I saw that it was happening, and then probably about halfway through, I just started skipping the cutscenes too, because I stopped being interested in whatever they were telling me. I was like, I'm just going to look in the bottom right corner and look at what my objective is, and I'm going to do that. That's the thing that I'm going to do.
Their dialogue's always the same of, I want dinosaurs. Careful of the dinosaurs. They're going to get out. Oh, we made more dinosaurs. Yeah, good job. Like that's literally the context of 98% of the conversations. So easily just forgettable. But yeah, so I was editing this podcast playing this game because it's just like, I don't need to listen to this sound. Don't have to worry about that. I don't overall recommend this game either for achievement hunters. I will say, but some of the achievements though, I do like. This game does a really good job of doing progress achievements and also kind of fun achievements. I don't know. Did you guys look at the achievements at all?
You showed me some. Like, I didn't do any of the fluff ones, the ones that, like crash the cars and stuff. I just did the progression ones, which I think were really lame. Like, I look at the amount of time that I put in and my score, and I don't like this game for achievements. Andrew, you had 490 out of 1,120
nice.
With 30 achievements. Keith, 105 with 10 achievements, and I was 290 with 17 achievements. But yeah, I just didn't really see them popping up, and I don't know. I mean, I could have looked it up, but I like when they just like pop up naturally,
Yeah. I mean, like I said, this game does some fun achievements. Like Keith said, you can take control of the helicopter, which you use to tranquilize the dinosaurs if they get out. But yeah, there's like shoot a dinosaur from 100 meters away. You have another one where you take control of the vehicle, the Ranger, and you have to get airtime of 2 or 3 seconds, which that one I didn't cheese, but like I said, the vehicle driving is so wonky in this game. Like my car flipped over randomly and it considered airtime. So I got the achievement and I was like, all right, cool. Thank you.
Just time with tires spent not on the ground, I guess is probably.
Yeah, I think so. And I flipped over and I was like, all right, thanks. Yeah, one of the achievements is destroying your Ranger by reckless driving. So just keep crashing into a wall till you blow up. That was a pretty easy one. But yeah, like it's a lot of just beating this challenge level, beating that challenge level. So it's going to take you a lot of time if you want 1,000 this game. So I don't recommend it for achievement hunters, but they're at least still kind of fun.
I want to know who got all the achievements. That's a lot of work.
It is. I think you talked as I farted. But yeah, let's get to our final thoughts here. So for me, like I said, I love Jurassic Park Evolution too. This is a game it's obviously not going to be for everyone. Obviously, Keith here. But if you like park management games, like I will say, I'm much more preferable to a roller coaster theme park management game than a zoo game, because a zoo game to me, I feel like you're not doing as much. It's just like, oh, now I got a lion, now I got this, now I got that. And so I was nervous about it with Jurassic Park. I was like, this is just going to be another kind of zoo management game. But there's just something about Jurassic Park that just, it hooks me. I keep playing it. I've spent a ton of hours in this game. I spent a ton of hours on the first one. And like I said, this isn't the first time I've played a Jurassic Park game. And I don't know if it is just because it's dinosaurs. And, I do love, I'm a sucker for dinosaurs, I'm a suckosaurus,
No comment.
But this game was just like, it is like a little tedious of, you're not doing a whole much differently. The scenarios don't drastically change as much, but I could easily pick this up and just end up burning a lot of hours. I would look at the clock and it's like 4 hours past. So I had a lot of fun with this game. I'm giving it an 84. I wish the driving was slightly better. I wish if I took control of the vehicles, there was more interesting things to do with them. But no, I'd rather just the computer tranquilize the dinosaurs for me. And yeah.
Yeah. This is, so I know I already said I'm not doing this, game, but not for me type of thing, but that's kind of what I am doing. I'm just changing my wording to this because the thing is
New Year's, same yo.
Really, yeah, honestly. Just Emperor's New Clothes or something. But
What?
The Emperor's New Clothes.
Is that a phrase?
Well, I mean, it's a story. The Emperor, he gets new clothes, but they just give him what they tell him is magic invisible clothes or something like that, and he walks around naked and everybody thinks he's a fool. Anyways.
I think of Emperor's New Groove.
Well, that's what Emperor's New Groove is based on. So, anyways, look it up. It's a real thing.
But, I never noticed that. I know what you're talking about because I've actually heard that story before.
Yeah. So,
but anyway, Keith, get back to your review.
So, what I'm saying is that I just purely didn't like Jurassic Park World on the context of what it is as a game. I'm not a huge Jurassic Park person, but that had nothing to do with what my turn off to the game was. I actually thought it was pretty good in terms of like my opinion of typical park management style games, but I just don't like them. And I wasn't really ever excited to play it. I thought it just felt tedious and a chore, but because of its genre, not because of its specific gameplay. I think dinosaurs are cool, and I thought it was kind of cool to keep dinosaurs, but I also agree with Andrew that if I was going to play some sort of a sim management game, I would rather be playing, what's the hospital one and the university one? I can't even think.
2 Point Hospital. Yeah, 2 Point Campus. Yeah, the 2 Point series.
Yeah, I'd rather be playing one of the 2 Point games. I'd rather be playing Evil Genius or whatever that one was. Like, I thought that I just enjoyed them better in how they play, and I think they're more interesting. So I would rather play those. I know that, like Andrew said, the overall vehicle control's kind of bad. I think it adds an interesting element to it, and I think that it definitely could have improved the overall gameplay if you did, but it didn't take anything away from me. I just thought it was a cool aspect, and so I appreciated some ability to take some that level of control. But all that to say, I just don't like these style of games, so it's a pass for me. But I will give it a 78.
So would you say this is the lowest? This game is like the lowest of the management games we've played?
Yeah, probably. Because and it's weird because I wasn't like unhappy playing this. I just wasn't excited to fire it up, but I can also totally see why it's time sink, and it's just you keep playing it because it's easy to do. But yeah, of the management games we played, I think this would probably be one of the lower ones, because I do also agree with you. I think that something about the zoo management style of it just is less interesting than like like I said, the 2 Point series, which is very interactive with your individual guests and customers or students, whatever the individuals are that you're interacting with. So I think they're more fun and more interesting.
See, I feel like my score is too high. I was going to go into this with a 90, mostly because I found it so addicting. And then where I'm at in the game now, it does get more challenging as well, which is nice that you can just keep playing and it gets harder in the sandbox mode and stuff. And because like the level that I'm at right now, it's like, I mean, there's no like flying ones. So for me, I think that there's like better ahead, but I also listed quite a few complaints about things that I didn't care for with the game.
You like hated this game when we first started.
Every game like this I do, though.
That's true.
I always like get stressed that I'm gonna mess up and it's all gonna be ruined, and because like you said, you can fail missions and stuff, but once I know what I'm doing, I absolutely love property management games, and it's every single time. But looking at Metacritic, Xbox One 81 and 7.2, and Series X 74 and 6.1. And do you know what? It's also hard too, because it's like, am I giving it such a high score because it's been a while since we've played one of these, and that's why I just love it so much? That could be it too. I said 90 too high.
No, it's like
because that no, Keith is like Evil Genius
score.
2 and all those, and I remember being addicted to all of them. But I also don't really remember them that well.
The only score that's too high is anything above 100, because we do a 100-point scale. So, yes, if you do like 102, that is too high.
But what if it's a perfect game and it has
Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, Willem Dafoe.
And Jack Black in the same game.
And maybe
that would just
a cameo by
blow
Terry
my
Crews.
mind.
And all the dog butts.
Yeah, like maybe Terry Crews is like riding a unicorn in the background while Jack Black is having a conversation with Willem Dafoe. I don't.
And it's a new Quantum Break game.
Or it's Graveyard.
So no, Sean Ashmore needs to be in it.
Yeah. No, seriously, they're talking about like. Well, I mean, they're not talking about it, but he said he would do another Quantum Break.
Yeah, that was really weird. I saw that was like trending on Twitter the other day. What was that about?
I don't know.
Why?
I think someone just originally tweeted at him saying that they would love a Quantum Break 2, and he was like, "I'm in it." He's like, "I would love to do it," and so then it just like started a trend that people were excited that he wanted to do one.
Neat.
Yeah, get Willem Dafoe in that game, Jack Black, Terry Crews. Yeah,
Good stuff.
I feel like this podcast couldn't handle it.
But anyway, I think that's going to do it for us this week. So thank you so much to our listeners who recommended we play Jurassic Park. If you have any game recommendations, please email us at gamepassgrab@gmail.com or hit us up on our Facebook or Twitter at GBGBpod. We'd love to hear from you. We'd also love to hear from you if you guys, what do you guys want from us? Do you wish we had merchandise? Do you wish we had a Patreon? Do we wish, we had more video content? We would love to hear from you guys. What do you want more from us? Do you want Keith to... talk less? That would also be, a nice, suggestion.
I mean, we could just do more property sim management games.
Yep. Do you want us to stop doing roguelikes? Because we could do that as well.
I'll never stop playing them. That won't stop me.
Keith just quits and makes a roguelike podcast.
Don't tempt him.
Well, they're not coming out with enough on Game Pass. They're not coming out quick enough with them.
I'm sure there's a pun in roguelike and going rogue and doing my own thing. I don't know. Make it
weird. There you go.
I'll
going rogue from this podcast.
Yeah, I'll just call it going rogue, and it's just me covering.
And people who don't understand the context will not get the name.
Oh, what a good idea!
I shouldn't have said anything.
All right. But yes, please let us know. I've been your hardcore gamer host, Angie. You can find me on Xbox Live at Firebird01952.
I've been Keith,
and I'm going rogue.
No, I was going to trying to come up with something about going extinct, extinction, dinosaurs.
What comes after extinct? Why stinct?
I don't get it. Oh, XYZ. I get it now.
Extinct.
Good.
Y stinct. And then what comes after Y stinct? Z end.
Oh, you're looking these up. I thought you were just coming up with them.
I just disappointed Liz.
Boo.
I have nothing more to say.
And I'm Liz Noob, gamertag, coming on Dean, and I'm on Twitter at Liz Noob. Noob is EW.
I'm surprised you didn't pause a bunch in that outro, Liz.
I just felt like doing a good job today.
Gosh.
For how much you pause this game. Anyway, we love you all. We'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys. Bye.